Guys, that's confirmation. Sizes don't matter as long as you know how to use it. Confirmation, baby! Hello and meowdy YouTube! We are finally back with some Mor Parz. This is part 3, so if you want part 1, part 2, they are linked down below. And hi, hello, if you're new to my channel, my name is Saphwyn, the silly neko Vtuber. I have worked as a zookeeper with wildlife in Australia. I have also worked with many other animals, and I study biology, so it's gonna be a fantastic time. I hope you learned some things. And if you want to support the channel and get anime reactions, early access, all that fun stuff, do go check out the Patreon. It is the best way to support the channel, and I appreciate it greatly. But let's dive on into the video.
Australia has a straight up Pokemon.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Introducing the brush-tailed possum. More specifically, the golden brush-tailed possum. Native to the land down under and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven. You see, the brush.
You know what? They have a lot of these little like marsupials though. If you go, I don't know if you guys are going to go out here, but if you go out here at nighttime looking, there's a lot of them.
Is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian possum, which, despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum. These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and to our protagonist here.
Wait, what was that pan? Was he hitting a sugar glider? Nah.
The golden brushtail, which is really just a common
pie.
brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin. So basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon. Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting of a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided-out cousin the kangaroo.
Correct.
However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You see, they aren't entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette.
So they're opportunists. That's what I'm hearing. Yo, a meal's a meal. If you can get a meal, you might as well get the meal, yeah?
Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me.
And just because it's not a venomous predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the tall grass out here, you hear this absolute fucking demon.
That sounds so bad. Imagine, well, I don't think you're going to imagine. I don't think a lot of you guys will be walking in the nighttime in a forest in Australia. But if you were, per se, imagine if that's all you heard.
The deadliest snake in the world.
The black mamba?
Introducing the inland taipan.
Oh, no, we're on the inland taipan. Also true. Also true. It depends on what list you look at. A lot of these are like fluctuating.
The deadliest venom noodle in the world. I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found.
Australia. Wow.
It's Australia. Of course it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically as...
Bro, why he had to call me out like that? You know what? Yeah, me and my snake just chilling here. The only snakes I really see are like little gardener snakes, which are just little babies.
As the name suggests, the taipan is found inland in the outback.
Yes.
Luckily, extremely far from civilization, because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter. Because
yes, both an inland taipan and a black mama would mess you up real bad with one bite, both of them.
Despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters.
It don't matter.
Is here to show you that
guys, that's confirmation. Sizes don't matter as long as you know how to use it. Confirmation, baby!
Absolutely can feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet. Yeah, taipan venom is a pina colada of pain, containing, but not limited to...
Wonderful.
Hemotoxins to cause blood clots, myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin.
That's kind
Needless
of
to say, if
you
it
know
bites
what?
you, you will.
That's kind of impressive to think about. Such a small creature contains all these toxins. I don't know if anyone else finds this fascinating, but I think it's nifty that the venom can contain all these toxins.
Get a headache, vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes. And that venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that.
That's crazy.
To 100 people.
But the funniest part of this snake's venom is that in the wild,
They only hunt rats and fucking mice. The deadliest venom on the planet, and they are using it to pack up Remy the rat. It's like hunting a rabbit with a fucking AWP.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my
Oh
entire
no.
life.
Oh! Oh!
This animal will peel your...
Not the glizzy twirler, man. Not the glizzy twirler. Oh my gosh. What are we doing? Is this a drop bear or is this a koala? I don't know, man.
face off like a banana. Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The infamous, terrifying drop bear.
Oh, it is.
A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design. You see, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of. Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger. Once firmly attached to your skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws.
I didn't realize how elaborate this fictional lore was. Holy moly. In
an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks. So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he was just going to gaslight you guys into thinking the drop bear was fictional or not, and I was going to let it happen. I was going to let you guys believe that I wasn't going to interrupt it. I did interrupt it near the end because I wasn't sure. It is a fictional story, believed to be a fictional story to scare tourists. Also believed to be a fictional story that arose from one of the big cats that used to live in Australia way back then. I don't know the truth behind that lore, but I do know that it was made up to scare tourists, and they still tell it to tourists all the time.
These aren't real. I made it all up. April Fool's. This bird is a serial killer.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the Shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself, how could this sweet little guy be a vicious...
I feel like the one thing I learned is never underestimate a bird. They are more intelligent than you ever think that they would be.
Killer. I mean, he's so tiny. They only grow up to around 30 centimeters and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear, look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle. Listen to the thing. It sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard of fly. But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me the fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
Oh?
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are. Because shrikes actually have another name.
Yeah?
They're called fucking butcher birds.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes
Correct.
actually had a fucking point. You see, when the Bay Harbour butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the
You know what, too? They look so cute and innocent. Just wait until you hear what they do to their target. But they look so cute and innocent. And then no. No,
Now,
no,
unlike
no.
Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the they want.
Yep.
Insects, mice, me, even
Lizard.
And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it.
Yep.
Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and
Crazy.
severing their fucking spinal cord. But converting their prey into a vegetable isn't enough. No.
Nope.
These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse
This is
back to their
crazy.
larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence.
And once they get home, they fucking impale them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They will then leave that corpse there for days. Occasionally,
They just gotta showcase what they did. You know, like when you showcase the hunt? You know, like, you ever play Monster Hunter Worlds when you capture your monster and you bring it back to the village? They just gotta showcase it. I don't know, man.
biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the
This is why
fucking
he's
fridge.
butcher.
Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs.
It's a funny thing is they look very similar to like a chickadee, which is a songbird, which is like a cute little songbird, but they look very similar.
This is the world's oldest shark.
We got a boomer.
But how old actually is it? This absolute fossil over here is the Greenland shark. And this may come as a shock to you,
What?
but the Greenland shark is found in fucking Greenland, man.
No way! No
And
way!
with Grandpa Shark
Crazy.
here coming in at a fucking kaiju size, 6 meters
He
in
is
length,
massive.
and a literal fucking ton in weight, this
Correct.
senior citizen probably worked with Godzilla back in his fucking day. But how senior is senior? Well, you might be expecting him to say something along the lines of, 100 years, maybe 150 years, right? Try higher. No, not 200. Close, but not 300 either.
Chocolate.
No, the Greenland shark can live up to 500
That's
fucking years.
crazy.
I don't think you
Wow.
understand how old that is. So, to put it in perspective, this is Bob. Bob has just turned 500. Here is a list of things this has lived through. All 8 of
Hi,
King
Bob.
Henry's divorces. The invention of chocolate.
I remember when
Listen. Bob's just out here living his best life. Bob doesn't know what the heck is going on in his best life, okay? He's just vibing.
they first invented chocolate.
Shakespeare's entire lifespan, the Boston Tea Party, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the founding of the United States, the colonization of Australia, the Industrial fucking Revolution, the invention of the light bulb, and adoption of electricity. The
Oh my
Titanic
gosh.
becoming a submarine, World War I, the Great Depression, World War II,
Bro, this bro's a boss. Look at all the events he's living through. Holy, he's a time traveler.
the Vietnam War, the fucking
He's old.
moon landing, and the invention of the internet. The first episode of SpongeBob. Schlatt's crimes in 99. 2001.
Oh, shoot.
The invasion of Iraq. The global
my gosh, we're
financial
still going.
crisis. The death of Harambe.
my gosh,
Australia
stop.
catching fire.
Oh.
The virus. And it's still with us today to watch fucking TikTok.
He's chilling.
This snake.
He's chilling, fam. You want to know another fun fact about the Greenland shark that you guys may not know about? As probably you guys can probably indicate, a lot of sharks eat, marine prey, whether that be squid, seals, whatever fish. It's been known that scientists have found like polar bears and moose and reindeer and stuff in the Greenland shark's stomach as well. I don't know where they're getting these things. Actually, moose kind of cross paths, but I doubt they're in like a big enough waterways. But they found these prey as well in the Greenland shark's stomach, which is kind of intriguing to think about. So there's some more food for thought for y'all.
Can take your arm off.
'Tis but a scratch.
I'm saying they're not the ones to attack. They probably just forage whatever, like if something, you know, washes ashore or whatever, etc., floating, etc., dies within the waterways, they're scavengers, so they'll eat it. But that's what they have been discovered.
Your arm's off.
Introducing the FER-DE-LANCE, a species of pit
here we
viper
go,
native
another
to
one.
South America and Mexico, with this particular nope rope having quite possibly one of the nastiest fucking bites in the world. This is a fairly major problem, because this little has the temperament of an eshay at a train station, being incredibly aggressive and extremely territorial.
Of course.
wallace in your shoes, bar, otherwise I'll cave your heads in right here, right now, bar.
In fact, this toxic garden hose is such an aggressive little within its range, it makes up an average of 50% of all snake bites. However,
Wowie.
despite the huge number of attacks,
And like, compare him to the mannerism of the inland taipan, the one that just sits out in the outback and eats mice and rats. Crazy to see the behavior differences among species.
it's only fatal in 6% of bites. So why is it such a problem? Just because you live the bite doesn't mean you'll want to. You see, when a FER-DE-LANCE bites you, this massive viper sinks its huge inch-long fangs into your skin and injects you with 2 teaspoons of venom. You will at this point notice a little status effect bar appear on the bottom of your screen. Don't worry about that. That's a mystery mouse tool that'll hurt us later. Upon being bitten, your blood pressure immediately crashes lower than the stock market and you start to feel very ill. The bite wound feels like you've been shot in the leg, you start sweating like someone's looking through your browser history, and then you start puking your guts up. Shortly followed by your collapse into the ground in agony. Now, FER-DE-LANCE venom is hemorrhagic, so while you're having a frat boy moment on the ground, the venom is breaking down the walls of your blood vessels, causing massive internal bleeding. At the same time, it's seeping into your bloodstream, causing it to thicken and start throwing clots. But hey, you're in luck. You were with a buddy when you got bitten. They rush you to the hospital, and because it's such a common snake bite, they have the anti-venom on hand and administer it immediately, counteracting the venom's effects. There is just one problem. The mystery mouse tool is still there, because anti-venom is not necromancy. So, all the dead tissue around the bite caused by the blood clots and internal bleeding, still very dead. In fact, it's so dead that it is rotting on your still alive body in a process called necrosis. I can't show you a photo of necrosis because it's
and do not look it up. I told you guys not to look up in the last video, and some of you looked it up and then said, why did I look this up? I'm warning you, like, do not look this up. I know you're curious, but if you cannot handle, like, disgusting images, do not look it up, okay?
Genuinely disgusting. But to put it into a term you can understand, the snake applies scarlet rot. Now, so long as that rot's still attached to you, it's gonna spread. So, there's only one way to stop it. Cut it off.
And, fun fact about them, they give live birth. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, reptile, snake, whatever, laid eggs. Not all of them do. There are exceptions to this. One of the exceptions are FER-DE-LANCE. So when the mom wants to have some babies, she can lay upwards of 60, 70, 80 offspring at a time. And that's what makes them so popular. And that's why they are everywhere. And that is why they are populated. And they cause one of the #1 snake bites. One of the #1 causers in the world. Sorry, I'm really bad sometimes with pronouncing words. It's a process called oviviporous. Oviviporous. Sorry, speech impediment time. Ovi. It happens in like blue tongue skinks as well, if you guys are familiar with those little guys. It is a common process. It is kind of an outlier, but it does happen. So if you guys didn't know that, now you guys know that.
This spider hunts with jump scares. But how? Introducing the
gosh.
Trapdoor spider, a family of
That's kind of
arachnids
smart,
containing
though.
hundreds of species found in every continent on the globe.
Yippee!
Meaning, yes, for once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd never know. Now,
Hello?
trapdoor spiders
Hello?
are particularly interesting compared to other spiders due to their hunting method. You see, normal spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate art piece for a fly to clothesline itself on.
Oh my
And
gosh.
tarantulas just jump. But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow.
You gotta like respect the grind of a trapdoor spider. You gotta respect it.
Then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan.
You gotta respect it.
Hell, they basically never leave the thing like some neckbeard living in his mum's
Oh my
basement.
gosh.
But they've still got to
Damn.
eat. And since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food. You see, they use their silk to craft a trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just
Yeah,
bolt a bunch
fantastic.
of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor. After finishing their construction project, they will spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as
You gotta
tripwires,
respect the grind.
feeding information back to their neckbeard nest whenever something steps on it. And when some unfortunate insect steps a little too close,
Money, money, money.
Komodo
Gone.
dragons are horrible.
Gone. See, why isn't that not cool? You ever think that there was going to be a trapdoor spider? I don't think so. I think it's neat. Unfortunately, like I would just be anchored down all the time, but you know, it is what it is. But there's a whole bunch of species that exist with under the trapdoor spider. And he's harmless to us, I should say. He's not gonna hurt us. He's literally just interested in those insects. No need to worry, because I know some of you guys are scared of spiders. No need to worry, chat.
I mean, seriously, this industrial-sized lizard is easily one of the
Biggest assholes in the animal kingdom when it comes to hunting methods, packing a PhD in suffering and a double degree in biological warfare purely because they cannot be expending effort to hunt. You see, Godzilla's little cousin here is the largest lizard in the world, weighing up to 166 kilos
gosh, look
and
at
being
him.
a
Flat.
3 point.
Flat boy. He's a flat boy. You gotta respect the Komodo. What a fascinating creature.
13 meters in length, which means for the short kings in my audience, if you're brave enough, bang a motor transport right there.
Now, being the reptile equivalent of a Cadillac Escalade means that the Komodo dragon needs to consume a lot of calories to keep that bulk going. However, rather than using that bulk to proactively chase down and body slam its prey, they can take down prey 3 times their size because as if being a reptilian tank was not enough, they are also venomous.
Yes.
This isn't just your run-of-the-mill snake venom that, you know, gives you a nice quick 15-minute death. No. A Komodo hunt starts with it running up to its prey and giving it a nice big chomp on the leg, injecting it with hemorrhagic venom.
After biting, the Komodo dragon off and just sits there watching.
The confused and bewildered animal runs off into the forest, leaking blood, allowing that Komodo dragon to track it like a DoorDash order. A week goes by, and that bite wound isn't closing because hemorrhagic venom prevents blood clots. So, the animal is
So
still
he's-
slowly
He ain't going anywhere. The Komodo dragon is just watching him, watching the show.
bleeding out, and the Komodo is still watching. More time passes. That bite wound gets infected because Komodos are carrion feeders, meaning that the inside of their mouth is full of enough rotting
Jesus.
flesh and bacteria to give
Asmongold a run for his money.
the infection begins to drain the animal's strength, and the Komodo is still watching.
He's still
Another
watching.
week
Always.
passes. The infection has spread, and the flesh has begun to rot. And you best believe that
Yummy.
gas lizard is still there watching like he's waiting for his meal to heat up in the microwave. Once the bleeding, disease-ridden animal becomes too exhausted to move on its own and collapses, the Komodo strolls over and eats it alive, shredding it into chunks if it's larger, or if it's small enough,
So the Komodo dragon has no mercy. Confirmed.
Swallowing it whole as it screams on the way down. Even for me, man.
Oh my
that's
God.
fucked. This
It
pigeon
is. A lot of reptiles are feminists literally just due to evolution, natural selection, and like environmental aspects. Wherever they grew up, they just needed to survive. So in order to survive, they went through selection to become feminists. That's a majority of why they are all feminists. But back to the Komodo dragon. Did you guys know that Komodo dragons participate in parthenogenesis? AKA they can reproduce asexually. The female Komodo dragon don't need no man to have some babies. There's another fun fact.
saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes
Holy
never
shit.
die.
Introducing our protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier
Anyone else feel bad for pigeons that we kind of just abandoned them on the streets, or
pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the olden times, radio technology was kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance.
he's chilling.
Which
Got
is how, in
stick-bucked.
1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France. With 500 US soldiers
Holy
stuck
moly.
3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery.
I love the capabilities of a pigeon. Like, this is why we use pigeons. Aw.
Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as
Wait, my bad, chat. My bad. Yeah. Birds are government spies. They are not birds. I forgot. You guys told me this in the previous video. Birds do not exist. There we go. My bad. I remembered.
nunchucks than a comms device. So they began
Goddamn.
sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop f***ing shelling them and
Jesus.
help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out
Oh my
of the air like
gosh.
they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained. Jeremy.
God damn.
Desperate and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Jeremy, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear,
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Jeremy's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs. And this Giga Chad of an animal tanked it.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Jeremy made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today. There he is.
That's mad impressive. I've never heard this story before. Oh my gosh. Animals are so fascinating. Oh.
Absolute f***ing legend.
He is a legend. Wow. Wowie. Bro, I was at I guess what, Smithsonian. I don't know. I don't think I saw him. Maybe he's not there anymore? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. You know, I was probably not the one that he was at. I think there's multiple. I was at the one in Washington, D.C. Speaking of that, I bought a cool ass dinosaur mug and I broke it. So I don't have it anymore, sadly. But
I don't think you understand just how old sharks are.
We got a
Elder.
boomer.
See, I'm not just talking individual sharks.
Elder.
Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff.
Bro, F Jeff. No one likes Jeff. I'm just kidding. He's a little cutie pie.
Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special. I'm talking
Unless-
sharks as a species. Because
Okay.
as a concept, sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has thrown at them. From climate change to the Ice Age to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur.
Oh no!
Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric
no!
shark species, most people think of the megalodon.
That big boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around 26 million years ago. Which might sound like a long time, but as far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer. Go back around 250 million years to the early Triassic,
Holy.
before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion, a shark with a fucking buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the fucking pog shark.
Yo.
And if that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Doliotis problematicus, at 410.
That's crazy. 410 million years ago, we had sharks on the planet, and we still have sharks on the planet now. That's like also your crocodiles, not as old as sharks, I don't think, or not on record. I don't think, but they're like also in that 300 million range as well. I'm not sure about the oldest crocodile ever found species possible.
Million
that old.
years
They're old
old.
also.
Sharks have existed for 4 times longer than
That's
Saturn has
crazy.
had f***ing rings. The first tree
That's
only
wild. That's wild. Wild to think Saturn had no rings, and here on Earth we still had sharks.
sprouted out of the ground 385 million years ago.
That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this f***er chased Nemo.
Bro, you gotta give them props for surviving multiple mass extinctions. Not just one, but multiple max extinctions. You gotta give them props. They deserve to be alive, okay? Props.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders.
Oh no.
It has a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers.
What do you mean? No, that is not New Zealand. Oh no, people think that's New Zealand? Oh no. Guys, let's go. Time to bring out the world map. Time to go studying.
Tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet. Despite the kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores, and everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were
crazy.
ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby. Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white.
Yeah,
That's because we
sadly.
don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British.
What?
You see, when the Brits, did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually,
Yeah,
they brought
okay.
with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plan.
It's free real estate.
The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one.
That's so
by
sad.
One, for 70 fucking years.
Yeah, that's sad.
Until September 7th, 1936. When the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually, I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny.
This bird.
Hey, turning it into a rug is diabolical as well. I don't know. Okay. Correct. We did cause the downfall of the thylacine. The thylacine also had issues competing, unfortunately, with the introduction of the dingo. So also when the dingo came around, they used to fight for the same prey. And apparently, I guess the dingoes were better hunters, which kind of makes sense. But they were fighting as well over their prey. That also led, sometimes humans are just assholes. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just our fault. Sometimes we don't think things through, I don't think. But that is another cause or reason. This bird is a vampire.
He's a vampire. Introducing the vampire groundfinch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams.
You can't trust a bird. We've been knowing this. You cannot trust birds. Nah.
In weight.
Nah.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
This is the skin of a killer.
So if it's missing fangs, angst, a cape, and the funny accent,
You can still do anything.
Must bounce on it.
Oh.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go around.
To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source.
Which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, they don't need a plane ticket to just off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit.
Of course.
So, how do they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh,
Oh no.
is
Booby.
the Nazca booby.
Yes.
Hey, stop
Leos.
giggling back there. Another species of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies... Stop giggling.
I love how he's like not able to keep his composure either.
Come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back.
Oh, interesting.
Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers. Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I can't say that shit without cracking.
He had to take five takes, and he's still laughing his head off. Oh, I love Mor Parz. Oh my gosh, 10 out of 10. Alrighty.
This is the world's biggest spider.
But
why the f is it that big? Introducing
Why not?
Theraphosa blondie, a tarantula.
Why not? Who wouldn't love a big spider? Why not, man? Why not? The world can do whatever it wants, okay?
Surprisingly, not native to Australia for once.
Oh my gosh.
Found on the other tyrannid hive continent, South America. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, this thing is fucking huge. Coming in at a frightening
That's
175 grams in weight and 12 inches in leg span.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
And those legs are not the only place it's packing inches, because Shelob's cousin here is packing fangs that measure a huge inch in length. For scale, that is like a 6.
That's impressive. Impressive, yo.
Foot human packing canines the length of a fucking ruler.
I didn't realize how many strays Tyler takes in these shorts. Watching them back to back to back like this, I'm like, holy moly, all the strays.
The important question, why the fuck is it so big? And the answer is that I have withheld information from you. You see, I introduced this girl by a Latin name. She's much better known as the Goliath bird eater tarantula. That's right, this EDF-sized spider, not unlike me, would fucking kill for some KFC. Literally. These bile titans will quite happily hunt birds, Remy, frogs, and even lizard. And they do all of this without a fucking web. Yeah, Goliaths are a pure melee build, hunting by prowling the jungle floor, sensing for movement with incredibly sensitive hairs on their legs. These hairs pick up vibrations in the air, which tell them when something is close. And once their spidey sense tells them that Remy's in range,
bye-bye.
They fucking jump him, biting him with those daggers they call fangs and injecting him with fucking neurotoxin.
No. Chat, is that a neurotoxin? Nah. In my spider? No.
Can I go 1 week without covering neurotoxin? Of course this thing has it too. You know,
you cannot.
I give up. They then drag their prey back to their burrow and spit up acidic digestive juices in order to suck their prey up through a fucking straw.
Yeah, because, oh my gosh. Because injecting them wasn't enough. We just gotta make them a nice soup. Wow. Gross.
There is a competition in America where they vote on the fattest bear.
Who is America's fattest bear? Oh, I know this competition. This is a fantastic competition.
Yeah. That's right, lads. Fuck the Super Bowl. I'm about to introduce you to the most important American sporting event of the year, Fat Bear Week. Hosted by the Katmai National Park and Preserve in Alaska every year from the 23rd to the 30th of September, the public watches as Winnie and Paddington fight it out to see who is the most absolute of units. And this year's highest calorie Kumamane has been crowned.
Here we go.
Before that, how the f does Fat Bear Week work? Simple. See, the event is held in the lead up to hibernation season, while all of these bears are at the peak of their bulk. Now, while it's running, the park allows the public to view live stream footage from all of their trail cams.
Well, that's
These
awesome.
cameras capture all the park's brown bears, allowing us to observe Freddy's fat-ass cousins like we just got a job at f***ing Faz.
Bro, the cousins all eat the pizza at Fazbear. Confirmed.
Bear entertainment. Each bear caught on camera is assigned a number and occasionally a name. We, the people, then vote on the contestants day by day, pitting them against one another in a fucking single elimination tournament bracket, determining with our votes which bear most closely resembles a pyro commission until one bear is crowned the victor. Now, you may think this is just some silly little event, but
this
no,
is serious.
over the years, there has been fucking voter fraud,
a manhunt
fraud?
for a missing hiker.
What?
And 1 year, the trail cams caught one contestant beating to death and eating another bear.
What? I didn't hear. I know about Fat Bear Week. I didn't hear about all the drama.
But now, to answer the question you've all been waiting for, the winner
Yeah,
of the 2025 Fat Bear Week is 32 Chunk.
32 chunk.
Winning with a broken jaw. They named that f***er after the render distance you need to load in his entire body at once.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. We love bears. Speaking of bears, do you guys have a favorite bear species? I love the black bear. I don't know why. They're just a little not docile, but docile bear.
Okay, so as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe you an explanation for this one. That is a normal fucking Roo. No,
Yes.
he is not Roosus Christ. He's not the second coming, and he's not going to turn your water into wine. All right, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice.
Oh my gosh.
But if that's the case,
The girl probably thought they were seeing some shenanigans that day.
how the fuck is he stealing the Son of God's passive? Well, the answer is fucking sand.
I don't like sand.
Yeah, you see, what's far more likely than a Roo being enchanted with water
Nah,
walk-
you know what? I like that he's Kangaroo Jesus. I think that makes for a way better story.
is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description for ocean currents piling up a shitload of sand into one place, creating an offshore segment of the water that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool. Now, Roos know about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find more food.
Smart.
So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus' entire fucking flow, he's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a...
Scientists just discovered a new fish.
A new fish.
Fucking ridiculous.
What is this?
This
Bro,
is the...
just picture how many fish are out there in the ocean that we don't even know about. Like, we're just out here casually discovering new fish after new fish after new fish, new species of the ocean. Just picture everything out there.
bumpy snailfish.
Nah, I'm sorry. Who's naming it? Who named it Bumpy Snailfish?
A freshly discovered species found off the coast of California.
Oh, heck yeah.
What makes this absolute specimen
Bumpy
stick out
snailfish.
is that it's a deep sea fish found at a depth of 3 kilometers. And I am here to tell you exactly why. Because once God finished building this thing, he took a step back, looked at it, realized exactly how fucking chopped it was, and punted that thing into the depths of the ocean when...
I mean, a lot of the fish in the depths of the ocean are kind of derpy looking. He fits in. He fits the vibe.
no one would ever see it again.
Be free!
Oh my
However,
gosh.
thanks to the hubris of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
Look at those eyes.
Top of his head.
I mean, fucking look at it. It is
gosh.
a profoundly unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes.
I'm not gonna lie. I think of the same thing when I look at a pufferfish. This kind of reminds me of the same build-up with pufferfish.
Not to mention the fit on it. It looks
the
like an
drip.
aquatic, uncooked turkey with a fucking smiley face drawn on it. Coming in at a solid 3 inches in length,
Oh my.
Bumpy here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However, unlike his cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these should be a sack. However, despite the fact that he looks like a sperm cell with a receding hairline, I love him.
I love him too.
He's so cute. Look at that smile. That shit reminds me
I
of...
love derpy little animals like this though. I don't know about you guys. If you guys have a favorite Pokemon, feel free to tell me down below what your favorite Pokemon is. But personally, I love Gloom, who is derpy. Gloom's my favorite Pokemon. Derpy Pokemon. I love derpy looking things. They are my life, man.
Sackboy on the PS3. I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
You know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little f***ed up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
Australia
Forever and ever. Forever and ever. I think this is our last one. Oh, we got 2 more.
a new shark. And of course,
one.
being from the land down under, it's fucking weird. Introducing the brand new Western Australian lantern shark.
What the heck is this? This is what I'm telling you. You guys remember when I said that there's a lot of weird things in the ocean that we don't know about? Look at this thing.
As the name suggests, discovered by a team of scientists off the coast of Western Australia. Now, as with the overwhelming majority of weird shit in the ocean, the Ozempic shark here is found in the deep sea, sharing a postcode with the anglerfish, that one xenomorph shark, and
that thing.
Now, despite the word shark making most people think of something a little closer in size to, I don't know, Bruce, Slenderman's fish sonar over here only grows...
He's so tiny! He's slim! He's a slim boy!
Up to 30 centimeters.
12
this
inches.
little guy shares a weight class
with
a fucking foot long. But I mean, honestly, I still personally think 30 centimeters is way too big. He could be just as good as the other sharks if he was, you know, let's just say 3 inches. However, other than being built like a fishy USB cable and owning a property in rock bottom, what makes him so weird? Simple. He fucking glows.
Throwing flashbang.
Of course it does. Of course it glows.
But
of course.
Why? Well, you see, these bad boys are found in the twilight zone of the ocean, around 1.2 kilometers below the surface.
That's crazy.
A place so fucking far down, it sees less sunlight than the inside of a gacha addict's room.
Whoa! 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 I'm catching strays in the Mor Parz video! What do you mean? I go outside like once a month, okay?
And so, lantern sharks evolved bioluminescence on their gills and fins in order to fucking communicate with one another. The glow is the evolutionary equivalent of a fucking indicator, showing that a literal abyss shark is more intelligent than your average BMW driver.
Well, bye-bye.
Aussie farmers thought they were being attacked.
It is a chemical reaction that produces light in the Twilight Zone. I don't know if you touched upon that. That's what it is.
By aliens. But what was actually causing it is so much funnier. This is a wallaby. The kangaroo's vertically challenged little cousin. Now, to get a little more specific, this is a Bennett's wallaby, native to my home state of Tasmania. And that location is very important to the story. Tassie is home to a lot of things. Beautiful views, a seal with a felony record, and the nut. However, one thing they tend to leave off the tourism brochures is drugs.
What? What?
Tasmania is the world's largest exporter of legal opium, the main ingredient in opioid painkillers like morphine, with this one tiny island producing...
Yeah, you mean New Zealand? No, kidding, I'm kidding, I'm sorry. That's a reference to a short somewhere in this video also. If you are just like skipping through them, that is a reference. I know that is not New Zealand.
50% of global supply. Now, opium comes from poppy milk.
Crazy.
And to get poppy milk, you need to milk poppies. And to produce that 50% of global supply, Tasmanian farmers grow huge fields of these things across the north of the state. However, because throwing these flowers into a crafting table gives you f***ing narcotics, these fields are legally required to be under extremely tight security. Which is why these same poppy farmers became extremely confused when f***ing crop circles showed up in the plant equivalent of a fucking Town Hall 9 Clash of Clans base.
That's pretty freaking specific, dog. That's specific.
They were understandably absolutely fucking bewildered
Crazy.
by this. And some people even thought it was aliens. So to figure out whether or not it was a Halo Elite drawing this shit, they set up
You're telling me the Arbiter is real? Guys, the Arbiter is coming.
some cameras. And what they saw was this little shit breaking into the field, eating
my
the
gosh.
milk-filled buds, getting absolutely eyed, and then hopping in circles until he passed the
Oh my
fuck out.
god.
They thought the f***ing Covenant were invading, and it was a drink-driving wallaby. Aussie.
Yo, shout out to the Wallaby. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that wraps up this version, or this part 3. If you want a part 4, let me know down below in the comments. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down. We'll do a shark emoji or the bear emoji, or comment down the word shark or bear. Just shows appreciation, shows that you watched the video. I always do this. If you didn't know that, I do always do this. And remember, tell me your favorite Pokemon down below as well. And if you would like to support my content, get early access, my uncut anime reactions, all that fun stuff, go check out the Patreon. It is the best way to support my content. So it is linked down below as well. I will catch you guys all on the flip side. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.